Welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm Aiden Ahuja here with Victor Lowe for HWTE, and today we're here with Coach Krum with the varsity lacrosse team. And before we get started, could you give us a brief background of yourself and your career with the Harvard Westlake and your career with the sport in general?
Yeah, I grew up in Denver, Colorado. When I was 15 years old, my parents moved to Manhattan Beach. I went to sophomore, junior, and senior year at Miracosta. After I went to Miracosta, I went to Salisbury University, which is on the eastern shore of Maryland. I won 3 national championships at Salisbury, was a 2-time All-American. In 2012, I started the Santa Monica Dragons Youth Lacrosse Program. I'm a co-founder for the Santa Monica Dragons. We have boys and girls from kindergarten all the way up through high school, and this is my 8th year here at Harvard Westlake as the program head.
Oh, awesome.
That's very impressive. So as I've heard, the team is very young this year.
Yep.
So who are some team leaders that are helping mentor the young talent this year?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, last year we lost 10 seniors. This year we only have 3, and that is Rohan Mehta, we have Andrew Early, and we have Cameron Bizadeh. They are 3 seniors, and all 3 of them are starters. You know, we have a bigger junior group, which is consists of quite a few players who are big, who play big roles on our team. I would say that we also have a pretty large number of sophomores, and you know it's cool to see. Even though those sophomores were only freshmen last year, it's been pretty cool to see their role as leading the team. Right now, we only have 3 freshmen, so the sophomores are still kind of the young dogs on the team, but they're also some players that are getting really valuable playing time, and as a team, we're relying quite a bit on our younger players.
Yeah, and the team started off a little rocky as you guys won your first game against Brentwood, and then there were 3 consecutive losses, and so we were just kind of wondering like what factors played into those losses.
Yeah, the beautiful thing about the game of lacrosse is it is a complete team sport. From top to bottom, we got to be firing with all 10 players on the field, and I would say. On an optimistic side, I really think that we could be 4-1, if not 5-0. Our loss to Santa Margarita was by 2 goals. Our loss to Redondo was by 1 in overtime, and our loss to Chaminade was by 2. Both the Redondo and the Chaminade loss, we were without Beckett Lee, who is one of our top goal scorers. He's a phenomenal attackman, very skilled. He was out due to injury. But, I will say this. Leaving the field for all 3 losses, I was encouraged because I know our team can give more, skill-wise. They weren't losses where we lost because we were so unskilled or because the other team was more skilled than us. We really shot ourselves in the foot with a lot of those losses, whether they were bad turnovers, wasn't communicating on defense, wasn't clearing the ball, and also turnovers. Turnovers are huge in whatever sport it is, whether it's football, basketball, lacrosse. Turnovers are big, and when we can limit easy turnovers, moving our feet more, making the passes shorter, running away from the defender as we're throwing the pass. Those are all really fundamental things that we got to buy into. I will say, mentality, we tell our players, the game of lacrosse is 90% mental, and the other 10% is skill and physical. And when we don't bring the right mentality, it's really hard to come back or to win games. And we say this also to our team. The game of lacrosse is meant to be played one way, and that is high energy as a team and with heart and with attitude. And when we don't bring those simple things, that has nothing to do with passing and catching and shooting. That has to do with our mental, whether it's getting ready during the game. And, this is a very high academic school. And we have to be able to get through our academics and our workload in the classroom, but we also have to be able to flip the switch and then get right into game play mentality. And that's been big for us.
So are you switching anything up in practice or game preparation to combat these challenges like the turnovers and maybe prepare for some of the mental side of things?
Yeah, we do some motivation exercises on, look, what's motivating you individually? Like, what is a motivating factor for you individually? How are we going to bring that into our practices and games? And, you guys have probably had coaches say, you play like you practice. So we need our practices to be focused. We need our practices to be all teammates working hard, motivating each other, pushing each other to get better. But one thing that I will say with what we're bringing into practices is focusing on those turnovers. Why did we turn the ball over? Well, we turned it over because we weren't moving our feet. We went to our left hand when we should have gone to our right hand. So me and my coaching staff we're really focused on touches, moving the ball, getting as many touches in practice as possible. And being able to, the sport of lacrosse is a really athletic sport. You got to be able to throw with your strong hand, right hand. You got to be able to throw with your off hand, your weak hand. And we're really challenging our players to put in a little bit more of extra work on their off time. And again, off time is a tough thing to come by at this school. But whether it's 20 minutes of just putting in extra work, getting extra reps with your strong hand or your off hand, that's kind of what we're asking from our players.
Yeah. And just in general, what players on your team do you think we should keep an eye out for this year of who can really step up?
Well, Ari Solar Camille is a junior attackman. Right now, he's 6'3", he's 225. He's a big body on the field, and he's hard for defenders to guard. And Ari has had quite a bit of goals this year. We're still working with Ari. Ari wants to play at the next level. He wants to play in college, so we're holding him to that standard. Ari's putting in a lot of goals. Beckett Lee is another attackman, and Cameron Bizadeh. Those are our three attackmen. Our starting midfield right now is Diego Godoy, Connor Bunnick, and Spencer. Spencer's been doing a great job. Spencer Barber, he's a sophomore. He's energetic. He comes to the field with an intent to get better every time, and he's doing a great job for us. Our defense right now, we got a good defense. We got Slater Vance, we have Andrew Early, and we have Matthew Murray. Slater just went down with a little ankle injury this last game, and a really bright star that I'm excited to watch continue to play this game is Ben Simmons. You guys have probably heard of Ben Simmons being a great football player. He's about a month and a half into lacrosse season. This is his first lacrosse season ever. He's athletic, he's big, he's strong, and he's only a ninth grader. So he got his first start this last game against Sierra Canyon because Slater was out, and he did great. He's a great on-ball defender. We're working with him on his off-ball defense a little bit, kind of understanding slide packages and how that team defense kind of works. I would say the heart and soul of our team right now is Rohan Mehta, our goalie. Rohan is a senior. He has been a starting goalie since his freshman year, since a ninth grader. He started playing lacrosse in seventh grade at the middle school, and he is doing a phenomenal job. He is really keeping us in these games, and he's making unbelievable saves, whether it's at the beginning of the game in Sierra Canyon. When we were up 11-10, there was about 45 seconds left on the clock, and our defense let the offensive player through to the goal, and Rohan made a crease save right on the doorstep and just stuffed the guy, and it was a really good save, and it saved the game for us. So Rohan is another one where he's the reason why we're winning games or staying close in these games.
Great, and as you mentioned, you lost lots of seniors last year, as well as defender Brock Getson, who transferred to a different school. Who's been stepping up, particularly on the defensive end, to pick up for that loss? Yeah,
Brock was a tough loss, and he transferred to another school, and we had Danny Liu, who also transferred to another school. But a guy who I haven't mentioned yet, which I'm really excited to mention, is August Townley. He plays a position right now for us. He's playing close defense. Close defense are the defenders closest to the goalie. He is playing a position right now called long stick midi. So he is running. He's in charge of playing on the defensive end, but as the long stick midi, he is in charge of transitioning the ball from the defensive end to the offensive end. Right now, Gus is our second top goal scorer and point scorer on the team. And as a long stick midi, that's pretty phenomenal. Gus's energy up and down the field, first off, he's very hard to beat defensive-wise. He's very agile. He's great laterally, and he's just a tough kid. But offensively, his stick skills are really good right now. And he's moving the ball. He has the ability to get the ball off the ground, move it, pass the ball to one of our attackmen, and or go to the goal and shoot, and he's scored quite a bit of goals this year.
Yeah, awesome. And so the team has been quite injured this year. You were mentioning some of the injuries that have happened. So how have you guys utilized those young players like Ben Simmons and beat adversity despite that?
Yeah, last year we had a roster size of about 27 or 28 players, which is still a smaller roster in my opinion. This year we're at 22 players. And so any injury that happens during the year is a big one for our team. And so, one, we're really relying on our training staff to, we have such a professional training room. Dunford Rodell is really helping us stay in the game and really helping us to be healthy on the field. But again, we are putting the younger players and the players who are maybe a little bit less experienced, we're putting them in practice with big roles because when they feel that pressure in practice, they have an ability to go out there on the field during games and feel a little bit more comfortable. This is no matter what sport you're playing, if you're a new player or you're a younger player, those jitters can mess with your with how effective you are on the field. And my father always used to tell me, he said, Eric, nervous energy is good energy when you can channel it in the right way. So we're kind of putting these new players in stressful situations in practice so then when they get to the game, they're able to go out there and play their best.
And one thing that I think is unique about this Harvard Westlake lacrosse program is that this year and last year you've had a girl on the team with Prentice Corbin last year and Bronwyn Vance this year. Does this affect the team in any way, create a new dynamic, or is it just kind of a seamless transition?
It's a great question. Prentice did a wonderful job for us last year. Prentice had played women's lacrosse for years before, and now Bronwyn Vance has played women's lacrosse for years before joining the men's team. It really boosts our team. Last year, I was, of course, I was a little bit nervous having a girl on the team. It's actually my first time coaching a girl on a men's team. I've actually coached a women's team before, but it was my first time coaching a girl on the men's team. And after last year, I was really amazed with the respect, kindness, and an understanding from our male athletes about how much Prentice was giving. And the same goes for Bronwyn. Bronwyn is skilled. She's athletic. And both Prentice and Bronwyn, they bring such a good team feeling, a real family feeling. They are both on the sidelines cheering, at least Prentice last year, Bronwyn this year. Bronwyn is coming to every practice, working as hard as she can, doing really good. And then when she's not playing, she's cheering for her older brother Slater, and she's cheering for the rest of the team, which is, it really just shows how much she loves the game of lacrosse and really what a courageous young woman she is.
And that kind of brings up the topic. Do you see a possibility in the future of a girls' team forming at Harvard Westlake?
Oh, totally. Right now we have, in my youth program in Santa Monica, we have quite a bit of girls at this school right now who want to play. And we have some girls who play lacrosse on the field hockey team. We have a girl, Alex Grube, who is on the track team right now. And if we had a women's lacrosse team, we would have a full roster. I think that's going to come when the brand new, beautiful athletic facility River Park is built. And so I'm really looking forward to that. I think it will give a lot of women pride about being a Harvard Westlake lacrosse player, but it will also give our boys team the ability to see how hard these girls are working and how skilled these girls are. I mean, Bronwyn, when she's playing women's lacrosse, she's a beast. She does great on the boys' field, but when she's on the girls' field, she's unstoppable. And it's really cool to see that.
Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us, Coach Krum. I'm Victor Lowe with Aiden Huja for HWTV, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Thank you.